Hey, how's it going, everybody? Showing you my front squat session, and you can see me using a hip circle to open up the hips, or really activate the hips, because a lot of the issues I've noticed when it comes to front squats has a lot to do with activating the hips early in the beginning of the movement so that you can go straight down. But let's go into the topic of the video, and the topic of the video is 5 tips for better front squats. So I was just thinking about some of the things that have got me able to actually front squat, because when I first learned it, it was literally an impossible move. A year ago, I could not hold this position. It was ridiculously difficult, very frustrating, and now I can. So I'll tell you some of the things that I've done and some I've learned along the way to kind of get better at this movement. I'm far from good, but let's get started. Number 1, practice holding the front rack and force yourself into position as a way of stretching. So just maybe during your front, if you want to get good at front squats and you don't really have the time to devote to front squats, in between some of your regular squatting sessions, just unrack the bar into a front rack position and use this as a method to essentially stretch out into position and hold the bar. Like, you can get 200 or 300 pounds on there maybe, and you can like unrack it and just tighten your core and just stay really close, or better yet, just unrack it and just stand there right underneath the pins. It kind of works out pretty good. Stretches out your forearms and stretches kind of the position you need to hold. Number 2 is ankle mobility seems to be the primary limiter in a lot of people when it comes to front squats. I said earlier that activating the hips early is sort of important when lowering yourself down into the hole, but a big part of that is being able to have enough forward knee movement, which is essentially ankle mobility. So continue to work on ankle flexibility and work on it on a regular basis. If you check my channel, type in like best ankle mobility or ankle mobility drill, you can find a really good one that I use almost every day, and it works like a charm. It takes a long time though. It's one of the hardest structures to change, because you got to remember that the ankles is something you stand on all day. Next, number 3 is Google Dan Green's recommended front squat drill. I made a video on it. Actually, there's a link I'll just put in the description, where you essentially just do a partial repetition. That way you practice lowering yourself in the correct area. Number 4, external rotation. Worry about focus on shoulder external rotation flexibility. Focus on keeping those elbows high. Worry less about wrists and forearms, because a lot of the time the reason why you can't keep your elbows high enough, or why your wrists are being overly stressed, is because you can't keep your elbows high enough as a result of not having good external rotation in your shoulder. Google external rotation shoulder drills. And number 5, lots of singles if you suck really bad, because I used to suck and I still suck in my opinion, but what I've learned is if you just do a bunch of singles, you can essentially hold the bar in a perfect position 1 or 2 reps, and that's sort of what you're training for anyway when it comes to powerlifting. It might not be the best way to train, but if that's what you can do, it's one way to kind of deal with some issues if you can't do multiple reps with heavy weight. I can do multiple reps with lightweight, but not heavyweight. So keep that in mind. I'll say that I've been doing a lot more front squats because I really can't back squat because my elbow's all fucked up. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you find these tips useful, and if you have a comment or question, leave one below. See you guys in the next video.